Hello, everyone. I'm going to start now. If people are going to still join us later, then they will just pop on to our webinar. First of all, nice to meet everyone. I am Ikal, and I am from OK for Canada Immigration Agency. We are located in Israel, and of course, we are with a Canadian base in Vancouver, in British Columbia province. From our Canadian side, here with us today is Mirit, and maybe later on she will also share some more information to complete all the things that I will be talking about. Here you can see her. And today we wanted to do this webinar about options that allow people to arrive into Canada on student visa. As I'm sure all of you know, in Canada there are many immigration programs, but not always it is possible to find something that will allow people to arrive in Canada. And some programs are even sound easy, but appear to be later on very slow or very difficult. And through the student option, Canada is also now encouraging students to arrive from worldwide, from many countries. I have shared my screen and I've just put on some information from the Government of Canada website. And as you can see, they have a lot of information and options for students. They have both a direct stream and also a general stream for students, how to receive a student permit. And we wanted to make some more organization in all the information that you can find through the official website, and let you know all the advantages in arriving to Canada as students. Students in Canada can register. Basically, there are two options and two kinds of studies. One kind of studies allow the student after graduation to automatically receive a permit to stay in Canada and work. And there are also other options without the option to stay after the time of the studies, but still also these programs and these places allow very good options in Canada. And basically, we will be putting most of the things that we will discuss today on these options as well. We are not a university and we are not a college, we are an immigration agency, but we have all kinds of ways to connect you with several colleges. So each and every one can find the best program that will be both interesting for him and will be good for the interest of you, or if you have previous education, maybe we'll complete it. Many of our applicants come from the healthcare occupations, nurses, caregivers, or people that are in the healthcare sector, but others come from many other backgrounds, not necessarily healthcare. And each and every one can find many options to study in Canada. The good thing now that Canada have just announced, and it came into already into power, is that students are now allowed not only to study, but at the same time, on their free time from the studies, they can also work. They always were able to work, but now the Canadian immigration authorities and the authorities in general allow to work even more than just a very part-time job. So it is very helpful because then students that are always a little bit concerned what is going to happen with them regarding income are able to find part-time jobs while studying. And we can also present you to several programs that takes place only 2 or 3 days a week. So there will be plenty of spare time on your hands when you can also start working. And another very good advantage is that if you will be applying to Canada as a student, then we will be in touch with you also after you will arrive in Canada. And this way, we will be able to maybe even help some of you to find a work placement. So in this way, even after you graduate, you will be able to already be working and finding yourself in the Canadian labor market. Another very good thing is that once you graduate in Canada, the Canadian diploma or study certificate or BSc or whatever you will be choosing to study will help you later on with receiving residency. Because in Canada, when they come to the point of checking all the requirements for residency, something that is very important is to have a Canadian education, not only working experience will you already start having, but also Canadian education. So having a Canadian diploma will indeed help you later on to find a way to stay in Canada and receive later on residency. Some of the programs that some colleges offer are called co-op programs. In these programs, the college itself helps you, once you graduate the program, to locate an employer for you. So even with the college's help, you will be able to get yourself an employer, a work placement, and then later on stay in Canada on a work permit, not a student permit and a student visa. And this way, again, you will have a very safe path towards residency. Another good advantage that is a well-known fact is that once you are already inside of Canada holding a Canadian diploma, then usually the salary that you are able to receive becomes better and improves. It's not like when an employer looks for a worker that will come from outside of Canada. Usually they will give a lower salary, but when you are already there and have a Canadian diploma of any kind, usually it helps with the salary as well. So later on, when you try to get your way in the labor market, usually you will be able to earn more money, which is a very good thing, of course. Some colleges have several campuses, so you're able to check in advance which campus will be preferable for you. But before we get more details about that, we do want to explain all the requirements in order to arrive on a student visa. Basically, it will need to be started by registration to a college, but one of the first requirements that is basically coming not from the colleges, but from the immigration authorities is to have good English abilities. And the requirement is to do the IELTS exam, which is a very known English exam. It is done worldwide through the British councils worldwide. And this exam consists of 4 parts. They have reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And the requirement is to do it either in the academic mode, but also in the general mode of this exam, which is easier than the academic. And in this exam, you will need to have a minimum band score of 6 and no less than 5.5 in any of the modules of the exam. So basically, if you have an overall band score of 6 and no less than 5.5, usually you will be able to find good courses and to register to many colleges. Then you need to find the best program that you find interesting. Usually the college itself would like to make sure that you do not have any criminal charges. So you will need to present the college a police clearance certificate to make sure that you are not evicted, have no previous registration in the criminal side. And the next step will be doing a first payment to the college. Many colleges offer a very good payment plan, which will allow basically to do only a down payment up to 30% of the tuition. And then they will give you an acceptance letter if you show them the IELTS exam and a police clearance. And then after you reach Canada, you will continue to pay them the tuition, sometimes even monthly or in several installments. This makes the student path easier to handle financially, because you will not need to do an upfront total payment of the complete tuition, but you do need to be prepared of the amount that you will need to be paying. But again, as you will be able to pay a major part of the tuition after arriving in Canada, combined with the fact that you will be able to work them there in a part-time job, then it makes it a lot easier, because regarding the tuition itself, you do not need to have the full amount up front. Also, many colleges guarantee that in case your request, your application for the student visa will be denied, usually they guarantee to give the 30% that you paid them back. So also in that way, your money is guaranteed, because you will not find yourself paying for the whole tuition and then maybe receiving a denial from the immigration authorities and losing money. So about the tuition, usually most of the colleges can give very good payment plans. Some of them even offer some options for later on receiving some kind of financial assistance to help you continue with the payment to the college. Some courses are short. You can find very easily courses that are even shorter than 1 year. For example, there is a very good course in healthcare that is only 9 months. And after 9 months, you are basically about to graduate from this course and receive your certificate. Other courses can be 1 year, which is also considered relatively short. Or you can, of course, choose a multiple year program, like some people want to come and study something over 2 years or 3 years. Of course, everything is open. But if you're looking for the quickest way to get the studies behind you, usually it is recommended to choose a program that is around 1 year, 1 year, 9 months, and then basically you finish with the study part and you can start working. As you can see here, there are 2 options for a student visa from the authorities side. One is called direct stream, which is very good for people that are arriving from several countries, including India and more places that you can find in the list. But even if you're not from one of these countries, again, you can still arrive on a study permit, and the requirements are basically very, very similar. We mentioned the IELTS exam, which is the first thing that you will need to do, mainly in order to register to the college and to be accepted. But one of the main requirements that is still needed, even though you will be able to work there in a part-time job, is to prove financial ability and to show a bank balance, meaning that once you will apply for the student visa, at that time, you will need to supply proofs of funds in your bank account. And this is mainly to assure that even if you arrive and you're not able to work, still you have enough money on your hands to rent a small place to live in, to buy food. They do want to make sure that people will not find themselves just starving or living in the streets. So they want to know that the student that will be arriving into Canada have enough money on his hands, and they publish the amounts of money that is needed to be shown in the bank account. Usually it is required to have the money in the bank for at least 3-4 months before arriving into Canada. And also there are options to receive, through Canadian companies, bill, like a statement that you do have the money. And this is another option. Of course, if you will apply through our agency, we will direct you exactly with this requirement. Basically, just to have a sense of the amount that you need to have in the bank. Currently, it stands for a single person, the student itself that will be arriving to Canada. He will need to show a minimum of 10,000 Canadian dollars in the bank. This is your money. It's not going to be paid to anyone. It's not going to go to the college. It's your money. It will remain your money. It's not money that you will need to give anyone, but you still need to be able to show that you have it up front. It's not the tuition. It's not including the tuition, meaning that you will need to pay to the college or to the university where you will be registering to. As I mentioned before, usually the tuition is not paid all in advance. The colleges give very good payment plans. Other than the tuition, aside from the tuition, you will need to show a bank balance currently of 10,000 Canadian dollars. If you translate it to US dollars, it's around 8,000 US dollars. After you will already be inside of Canada, usually after 6 months, 8 months, sometimes 1 year, or when the course will already end, then you no longer will need this bank balance. So it's your money, it will remain yours, and you can use it, of course. You can take it out of the account. But it's a very important requirement, and whoever wants to come to Canada on a student visa needs to know that he needs to have the money to show. Another very important requirement is to be able to show very good ties to your homeland. It is checked by the immigration authorities because from the immigration part, even though they are really encouraging people to come and study, and they really need the working hands to come to Canada. And they do appreciate people that come and receive education inside of Canada. So most probably it will be very good in order to later on stay in Canada and receive a work permit and later on residency. But still, at the beginning, at the starting point, when you just register to a course or a program, they do need to know that you are still tied to your homeland. You have a house. People that are married, it's even easier for them because they can show very easily that they have their spouse in their homeland, the family, maybe children. If they have a job where they're currently working and they can provide an approval, a letter from the employer that he will be waiting for the student to come back later on back to the homeland, then it's very, very helpful. Still, immigration authorities want to people that come only for study to leave Canada at the end of the course. So this is why when at the beginning, at the stage where we apply for the student visa, we will need to be able to show good ties to homeland. Still also people that are still single can apply to a student visa, but for them, we may need to be able to give more evidence of the ties to homeland, like property, owning a house, owning a car, having a job placement that will be receiving them back after the course ends, and so on, all kinds of proofs to show that even though now when they just registered, basically they plan to come and study and then leave Canada, it will give good evidence of this. Again, it doesn't mean that at the end of the course, you will not be able to stay in Canada, but we look at the first barrier to be gone through, and mainly it is to register to a course, to have the bank balance, and to show good ties to your homeland. So from the perspective of immigration authorities, you will be able to receive your student visa. How long will it take? Well, basically, first of all, it is depending on how quickly you will do your IELTS exam, because if you're not just receiving first information about this, then you will still need to prepare yourself and to study and to take the IELTS exam. But a very important thing to know is that if you're a little bit intimidated by the IELTS exam, we may be able to give you a different solution and to guide you and help you get into a college that will provide you with a placement exam, something internal of the college itself, where you will be registering to. And if you take their exam and do it, and you receive a minimum score, whatever they require for the course that you want, a lot of times it will waive the need for the IELTS exam. So this is a very good option. Maybe Mirit will just later on add some more information about it. So this is the first step. But once you are already holding the acceptance letter, we will then need to guide you about all kinds of documents to collect. And then we submit the application for the student visa. Courses have the time when they're supposed to start. So usually all in all, from the acceptance letter until you can arrive in Canada, it's just a matter of several months. It's supposed to be relatively quick. It's not a program that will allow you to enter Canada only after 1 year or something like this. It's supposed to be just a matter of several months. Again, provided that you will be able to show the bank balance, good ties to your homeland, acceptance letter, and all the certificates and documents that we will guide you to collect. I think I will have Mirit also join us and maybe add more information and give some more explanations.
Okay, so hi, nice to meet you guys. I'm Mirit. I arrived to Canada a year and 3 months ago. I came here as a student. I am working with Michal. I opened my company. We have a networking company. So together we help people to come to Canada and assisting them with the immigration processes. Michal is right. The easiest way to come to Canada is basically by coming with a student permit. And it's simply because that when you have a study permit, the government will have to allow you, in case that you are eligible, to come by the time that school starts. So I came last year in August, and my school started last September. So this is one of the main reasons why we know for sure that you will get your study permit on time, because you will have to come to Canada, set your home base, uh, come to the university, make sure that you are registered to all of your classes. And in order to do that, they will have to approve you to come at least a month prior to your studies. So just a little bit about my experience, because Michal was telling more, about a general. I'm just going to tell you about my experience. So in order to register for my studies, I'm taking business management classes, and in order to register to my studies, I basically had to show tie to home country. Tie to home country means that I had to show that I am employed in my home base, that my employers will employ me again once I'm coming back from Canada, that I was maybe sent to do my studies because they offered me a better job opportunity. So I had a signature from my manager with a signature of my company that will prove that once I'm finishing my studies, I will be able to go back to my country and using my knowledge that I studied in Canada in order to fulfill it in my home country. Another thing that I had to show was sufficient funds in my bank account. So I kept a record up to at least between 4 to 6 months, show that I have enough funds in my bank account. As Michal was mentioning, $10,000, I kept $20,000 just in case. And then I had to print my bank script. I had to show that this is my bank account. My bank signed a paper that shows that this is my bank statements. And of course, everything needs to be translated. If your home is in Thailand, if your home is in India, it doesn't matter where, you just need to translate everything with apostille signature and show that this is your bank statement, this is your records. Also regarding school, I had to show that I finished high school. I had to show that if you have any kind of other education degree in your home country. I studied a BA in logistics and economics. So I had to go to my university, have this transcripts translated with apostille signature, translated into English because I came from Israel, and I had to submit those transcripts to my college. Another thing that I had to do is do an English proficiency test. Now, this is basically depends which kind of college you're going to submit yourself to. There's a lot of colleges, some of them are harder to be accepted to, some of them are easier to be accepted to. It depends. Sometimes those colleges has an inner English test, which is much easier to pass. I had to do a Duolingo, and I had to get a score of 110, and then I was able to get accepted. Once I submitted all the transcripts tied to home country, statements of my bank account, I showed that I have the English proficiency, everything that I needed for my visa. Of course, we will guide you through that. I got the acceptance letter. All of these documents are being accumulated and submitted to the government in a one-time statement, one-time application. Then we wait. After we submit you, we wait for the approvals. Once we get the approvals, if everything is okay, if you know that like you had a high score in the your IELTS exam, or you know that everything was okay with your transcripts, everything was submitted, and also we were able to prove that you will go back to your home country because you have a family, because you have a job waiting for you, because you had enough sufficient funds in your bank account, everything was okay. Once we get the approval that you will be able to come and study, usually you pay after 2 weeks of the acceptance letter. Usually you pay for the first semester, and then you are able to book your tickets. Once you're coming to Canada, you establish your place where you're going to live. You're going to the college, you pay the other funds each and every month or each and every semester. I pay each semester, and that's how I keep my records. And then it depends. If you study for 1 year, usually you get 1 year of work permits. If you study 2 years, usually you get 3 years of work permits. During this time, once you're a student, you're able to work a full-time job. You can choose any job that you want, and then maybe they can guarantee that they will hire you afterwards. Maybe you can come to my office. I can look for connections to prospective employers, and then this is the way we build the PR pathway. I live in Vancouver, but we work all over Canada. So anything that you want, anything that you need, as long as you're a client of Michal, you're a client of us, and then together we help you to build the best way for a PR pathway. So this is basically everything that you need to know for now. Michal now will present to you 2 pathways that are recommended to come here. There's other pathways as well. You can afterwards send me all your transcripts, send me all your questions, and I can try to screen them out and tell you which kind of programs I think will be best for you. And we can build an infrastructure about the ways for you to come to Canada. So if you have any other questions, once we'll finish up the webinar, you can email me and Michal, or you can ask questions in the chat by the end of the webinar, and I will try to answer as much as possible. Thank you, and Michal, please continue.
Okay, so I wanted to show you 2 samples of 2 colleges that are relatively easy to get registered to. One is called Discovery Community College. You can see it here. And another college is called the Canadian Create Career College. Both of them have both short and longer programs. For example, the Canadian Create Career offers, you see when you go to programs, you can see web design, digital marketing, accounting, business administration. And when you stand just behind, on this, then you can see whether it is with a co-op, meaning that the college itself will provide you with an employer that will hire you for a short study period of time. And then you have a very good option, because if you're good at the work and everything is okay, sometimes the employer will continue hiring you, and this will guarantee that later on, even after the course, you will be able to stay there and work. One of the shortest and cheapest, actually, programs is hospitality management. You have it in a 2-year diploma with co-op, but also you have it as a certificate. And if you choose the certificate, then basically it's a 1-year course. And again, as I mentioned before, it is a part-time study during the week, and the rest of the time you can also work. This is a very good option. This course, just so you receive an idea of the tuition amount, This course costs $7,500 US. You see, it's 32-week hospitality management certificate with co-op and collaboration with American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute. So they will be able to find you a job placement, which is very good. This is just one option. Of course, you're not obligated to it, just to have some ideas of what is possible. And the other college here that I just clicked on, Discovery College, they offer also programs in the health field, community support, all kinds of. But if we click on the healthcare and medical, then they have healthcare assistant, which is also a very good program. This will allow you to receive a certificate that later on will open so many opportunities, because one of the most needed occupations in Canada throughout this time is in the healthcare. So basically, you can find later on job placements in old age homes, in the community, in private families. So many options will open, and usually for the healthcare assistant career, the immigration will allow to receive residency, and many times within the province itself where you will choose to arrive and study, you will be able to apply for a nomination program, meaning that within the province itself, you will be able to receive residency. And this is a very, very good option. This is a little bit more expensive than the previous program that I showed you. This costs around $10,000 US. Again, when you're at the time of just registering and until the stage of the acceptance letter, you do not need to have the full amount of the tuition, because they do give a very good payment plan, and later on even offer financial options to help. And again, you can work while studying, and it is legal. So you do not need to fear that you're doing something that maybe someone will catch you. It's good, it's legitimate, it's legal. So it's a very good thing. A nice thing that you can do if you want to, you can go into, in each province, usually they publish salaries. So basically, just for example, in the BC province, you can go and look into whatever thing you decided that you wanted to study and later on work in, and you can check the salary and see the prospective salary that you're able to receive later on. And when you do that, you will very easily see that holding a Canadian diploma will help you to improve the salary. So it's not only just doing the course and working in this time in a part-time job, but later on improving your salary, improving your ability to earn money, and getting a very good chance towards the residency. And as Mirit mentioned, we are located in Vancouver. We have there our base. But for example, if you choose any college elsewhere, it's okay. We can also try and connect you to other colleges, not only those two. These are just samples. Many colleges, as you see here, they have several branches. So you can first go online and check about this place. For example, if you are applying from India, one of the places with a very big Indian community is Nainamo. Many Indian people settled there. So maybe you will be interested to register specifically to that branch of the college. And then you know that you arrive to a place with a community from your homeland. But any other place or any other college, whatever you can locate is good. You can find places in Ontario as well, or in any place all over Canada. As Mirit mentioned, we work all over Canada. And we do recommend to try and find a relatively short course that will just basically allow you to enter and then to get into the labor market, start working there, and start to build your future there, which is very, very good. By the way, when you are a student in Canada, if the course is taking place over 2 years, then during this time you can get out of Canada and go back. So you can most definitely go visit your homeland, go visit your family, come back. It's not like you're stuck in Canada for the complete time. So it's also a nice thing to know. Basically, these are the main things that are very important to know about the student path. And we do think that it is a relatively easy path. If you're interested in receiving more information, first of all, you can very easily go to the site of the government of Canada and then just look study permit, who can apply, and you will see all the eligibility requirements. But the main requirements we've just discussed. Or you can just send us an email, and as Mirit offered, you can send us maybe your biodata or something that you already studied in your homeland, and we can go over it and try and locate the best place for you to arrive and study. And once you're there, we will escort you, we will help you with any issue that will arise, we can help you settle down, and of course, we will help you later on locate an employer. Our service charge for just the student visa is $2,500 US, and usually you will need to pay it in 2 installments. You will need to do a small deposit once you start, and if you want our services to try and locate the best place for you to study. And then the rest of the amount you will need to pay when all the documents will be ready already, and you would want us to apply for the student visa itself. So it's not a very high amount. It's not like a complete program for a work placement or residency, which is usually a lot more expensive. So basically, if you want to plan it financially, you do need to take into consideration an amount of around $6,000 US, maybe even a little bit less, that will cover our service charge and the part of the tuition that you will need to do in order to receive the acceptance letter. The rest you will need to prepare in your bank, as I mentioned before. So by the time that we apply for your student permit, you will be able to show all the statements for you from your bank. These are the main details, and I really hope that you will be able to locate something that will provide you with a very good path into Canada. And I think that here in the chat, I will put, I can put the email of OK for Canada, and I can also send it through, if you want, you can send an email to okforcanada@gmail.com, and just following our webinar, ask us for more details, or send us your biodata, or send us some information about you, so we will be able to screen it and advise you with the best option for you. Mirit, you have any suggestion how to maybe put the, I will stop the share.
So I think mostly like that. First of all, if anyone has questions, please please ask now. I mean, you can ask after as well, but like, please don't be shy, because this is your future, so there is no wrong questions. If you have any proficiency, anything that you are interested of, the email that Michal just put, Eden Opportunities, this is my email, so you can contact me. If you have anything that is interests you, anything that you want to know besides of what we've just mentioned, Anyone?
You can unmute
Okay.
yourself if you want to ask anything.
Okay, so if no one has any questions, so I hope that you can copy the emails in the chat. I hope that the information was clear enough.
Hello, can you hear
Yes,
me?
hi.
Hi, shalom and good evening,
Shalom.
hi, and good morning in Canada. Yeah,
Yes.
I want to know because do we want to get West from the world education, like educational credential assessment for the applications for
So,
colleges?
so you're asking if you need to submit a WES assessment as well?
Yeah,
So it depends. If you have a degree, like if you already studied like a first degree or anything like that. So basically what you need to do is submit the transcripts. If you already did an assessment for WES that prove that, I don't know, you've studied higher education in your home country, you will have to translate it, the
yeah,
WES.
yeah. No, I already got it from the West in a few months ago because my my assessment came like I have a high school diploma.
Okay,
And
okay,
I'm waiting another one. Still, I didn't receive that one.
okay.
That's why I
So
asked because some colleges ask West.
exactly. So some colleges ask you and some not. So again, it very much depends to which program you submit. When I
Okay.
submitted to my program and it didn't need to do a WES assessment or something like that, I just had to bring my transcripts and just translate them from Hebrew to English, and then have an apostille signature or a lawyer's signature that states that these are my transcripts and my degree, but I didn't have to do. So again, it depends. That's why what I was saying. You guys will choose which kind of program you want. Once you will choose the program or programs, like 2 programs, we can try to submit you to 1 or 2 of them. At the beginning, when you just submit in your application, just to see if you're eligible or not, you're not paying for a whole semester. You're just paying like the submission fee, which is pretty much between $100 to $150, nothing more than that, just to see if you're eligible. But will be best if you know exactly what you want, you read the information, we overview it together. I'll tell you what I think as well. And from that on, we can try to, and of course, if it's in Canada, I'm calling to the university, I'm asking all of the information on your behalf. I'm emailing them back and forth your transcripts, and then I tell you which one I think will be best.
Thank you. And I have another short question because
Yeah, please.
you guys told us earlier because we have to secure something in back when we
Yeah,
finish the course in our country because now I'm living in Israel since 2018 because
yeah.
I can't prove anything in my home country because some security there and a job.
No,
Uh,
but you have a bank account, any kind
yeah,
of bank
no,
account
no, no.
that you are managing.
Yeah, I have a bank account. That's
Yeah.
a no problem. But that job security after finish the course, because we can't come to again Israel after we exit, and then in Sri Lanka because I'm a Sri Lankan citizen, and because we don't have any security in there in the job.
Yeah, you can ask when I'm saying something like that, you can ask from someone who is hiring even in Sri Lanka. You can ask from someone who is recommending you as a very good employee that once you will finish your studies, they will hire you again. Of course, we don't mean that you will go back. Of course, everybody wants to stay here and everybody wants to be successful here. But just in order to show that like you do have skills and someone will hire you. My old managers, they signed my application, they signed my letter. It was just a letter that it was my words. I'm writing my words that like I'm a good worker, I'm doing a sufficient job, I'm needed, and once that I'll finish my studies, they will definitely hire me. They will recommend to hire me. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you.
that's the only thing that you need. Yeah.
Yeah,
I will guide you through that as well.
okay, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And thank you, appreciated.
For sure. And again, there's no wrong questions. Anything that you have, if I don't know how to answer, I check it again. I ask my RCICs, and then I go back to you with, you know, with more accurate information. But there is no wrong answers. That's okay. That's your future. You're entitled to know everything
Of
that you need to
course,
know.
yeah, we trusted. We trusted.
Yes.
By
And
the
thank
way,
you.
for people like yourself that are already working as caregivers, once you will already be inside of Canada, we may be able to locate employers for you in the field of caregivers. So even if you will choose a course that is not in the healthcare, still because you do have work experience as a caregiver here in Israel, then we may be able to use it in order to locate an employer for you, which will
Yeah.
help you a lot.
Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else that want to ask questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I just want to know. I just want to know what is the age limit for applying for student visa?
I'm 40 years old.
Because I am 46 years old. That's why I just want to know.
I see. So this is definitely something that I need to check. When I was applying, I was I'm 40 now. I was yeah, 39, almost 38. Yeah, my birthday, I was 38 when I came here. So yeah, I definitely need to check.
Some colleges do advertisement that there is no age limit. For example, the CCC college advertises in their website that there is no age limit. But just to be on the safe side, if you will decide that you do want to register, then we will do a little bit more
Research.
research about this,
Yeah.
so you will not spend any money and then discover that you're not able to apply.
And also, again, it's very important to explain the letter of acceptance. Letter of acceptance from the college is just to show that you are eligible to do the studies. It is different from applying once we have submitted all the paperwork to the government. But the fees that you are paying, as I told you guys, it's between 100 and 150 just to get the letter of acceptance from the school. Okay. Just to, like, you don't pay yet for like a full semester or something like that. So you don't need to worry about that. Anyone else? I saw like people popping up and then disappearing. Anyone else that want to ask, please just ask us now. Please feel comfortable.
Okay. If you don't have anything on your mind to ask now, I see that some people put their emails here. What did you want us to send you to your email? More information or just something about what we have discussed? This was your intention? Because basically when I put our email addresses here, it was for you to be able to send us questions or later on documents.
Hello,
Hello.
hello,
Hello.
ma'am. I'm Joseph from Israel. I did post-internship studies on Lachish for 10 months. I want to ask a question. If I'm allowed to refer this information for my sister because she also wants to apply for this program, can we go or apply at once, or should I go first, then my sister will come after me if I
It's not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You or your sister. This is not like a work permit or I mean, and you are not married, she's your sister, it's not related. You can both apply at the same time. No one, I mean, it's not like the government will see it and it's not suspicious or anything like that. And it's makes sense, actually, if you want to study, your sister wants to study. If you apply to the same program or a different program, it doesn't matter.
So yes, you can
Again,
find the information.
yeah. Again,
Thank
the
you.
main thing, the main focus I want you to have in this conversation is, first of all, you need to check within your own if your English is an English that will pass you the exams. If you have enough funds in your bank account, if you have a good tie to home country, if you're married, if you have maybe a home, if you have maybe some savings, if you have kids, family. These are the things that, first of all, you need to put your focus on. After that, you need to choose the program that you think you might be interested of, okay? And from there, we really, the sky is the limit, basically. I work with a program that calls Apply Board. Apply Board is a program that is gathering all of the universities into a one-stop shop. So basically what I'm doing, I'm taking your information, all the information that you send me. I open a file for you as a student in this application, and then it screens me all the programs that you are eligible to. After that, we set up a meeting. I set up a meeting with you. I show you all the programs that you are eligible, how much the program cost, what are the requirements as a payment, what are the requirements as English proficiency. Maybe there are other requirements. If you will decide, I don't know, I want to study chemistry, I want to study, I don't know, I want to become a doctor. I don't know, it depends on you. And then from that on, I'll tell you which kind of programs you are eligible. The program that Michal showed you, we showed it because caregivers, it's one of the programs that once you become a caregiver, it's very easy to be accepted and to find a job here, because this is one of the main industries here in Canada that they are lack of manpower. Hospitality, it's a very good program as well, because sometimes they do a co-op. So a co-op, it's a program that you also study and you also work in the hotel at the same time. Once you do that and you finish your studies, then most likely, they will want to hire you. If they want to hire you because they got to know you during the co-op program, then the way to the PR is much easier, as well as the way for the PR as you're studying to be a caregiver. So these are only one of the two programs that are recommended. You can also come and study business management, and then you can choose a pathway as marketing, or choosing another pathway. Everything, it just depends on you. Okay, we are not limiting you. Depends on you, your funds, your education, and of course, you need to dedicate yourself into that. Like, you need to work with us on that one. Takes about 3 months that we will submit everything. You will be able to translate everything. You need to find your transcripts from your high school. So it's kind of a process, but it's the shortest one that I can guarantee. And we guide you through all of this time. And we are here for you. It's important that you will know you're not alone.
Maybe there is
Any
another
other
question, by the way. Someone asked if there is an issue regarding a gap from when he last studied until the time that now he will register to a college.
So I studied when I was finishing my schools. I finished when I was 28, and I submitted when I was 37, 38. So no. And even if it's the first time that you study, you can still submit. You just need to pass the IELTS or a Duolingo, or it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, we have a question from Guyana.
Yes, I'm sorry if I'm asking the question you earlier explained because I
No,
joined
it's okay.
very late.
Please ask. Yes.
I have got the email from OK for Canada that after I send in my CV and other details, it is possible to get a master's course, but it says I have to pay 30% of course fee before the acceptance, receiving the letter of acceptance. Is that so?
Basically, it depends on the college. Some colleges want, in order to know that you have a major part of the tuition in your financial ability, so they do want up to 30% of the tuition before they give you the acceptance letter. But as Mirit said, we can search maybe a different place or find other requirements in other places. But usually you do not pay all the tuition up front. You pay a small amount at the beginning just so they check your eligibility. And then if you're eligible and you do want to register, then you will need to put them some amount, some percentage of the tuition. But it's not going to be a very high percentage, usually.
Yeah. It is important to mention, once I got my acceptance letter, I did have to pay for the first semester, right? Because they won't give you, which makes sense. The government won't give you a permit to come and study here if you don't show them that you paid at least for the first semester. Because otherwise everyone would have done it. Oh, I'll pay $150. I'll say that I'm registering to this college, and then I'll come to Canada and I'm not gonna register to this college. I'm just gonna work somewhere and they won't be able to locate me. So you do need to pay for the first semester, usually after you get your acceptance letter. It does make sense, but you definitely don't need to pay a full tuition for the whole year. Yeah, you won't have to do that. And this is also makes sense because they don't know. Maybe you failed in the first semester in one course and then you have to pay more for the second semester. Maybe you didn't. Maybe next semester you want to take 5 classes instead of 3 classes. It depends. Right? Every time I take only 3 classes at a time. Now I've left with only 1, so I'm paying for the rest of my studies. So I need to pay only for 1. It depends, but they will guide you.
Okay, thank you. The other question is, I'm in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
You're okay for is I think it is from Israel. We are planning to go to Canada. So how can is there any dealer or agent in Sri Lanka to meet them?
No,
So
we are
how
located
can
in Israel and in Canada, and we do not have branches elsewhere in other countries. We do work online. We do have clients that are originally from Sri Lanka, some of them in Sri Lanka, some of them here in Israel, but we do not have a branch there. But you do meet us now and you see us, and we work with a registered immigration consultant and we provide all details, and everything is done very, very organized. Also, for each payment that you will do through our agency, it will be according to an agreement and you will receive a receipt, and everything is very organized. It's not something that you speak with someone on the phone, you send money and then you discover that.
And also the payment is not a one-time payment, because as I was mentioning, we first need to see that you got accepted, you have the letter of acceptance, then we make sure that you paid for the first semester. Like, it's a step by step. Okay, we don't take all the money in advance, because in case that you didn't get accepted to the college, maybe we will submit you to another college. So you see, first of all, we do need to build trust, and I understand your question completely. So we build trust with our clients. We don't take all the payment in a one-time down payment, because we don't believe in that. In case that we need to do a refund, we do a refund. So it's also our reputation to, we want to reserve our reputation as well. I'm not going to be rich, from one or more clients that paid $2,000 more or less, not going to make me richer. So we don't believe in this kind of energy as well. We want to see you coming here, succeeding. If you're coming to Vancouver, you can definitely meet me in my office for sure. And I can help as much as I can. If you're going to another place in Canada, it's also okay. But we do want to see you guys succeeding here. We do want to see you afterwards, maybe moving on and finding jobs that will help you to build your life and find a better future. So yeah, we work on that together with you all the way.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Anyone else with questions? I'm trying to take a look if we have something in the chat. Regarding, I am a BSW graduate, can I do HCA? If yes, high school transcripts or degree transcripts should I get for admission? So again, any specific questions like that, you will have to send me your transcripts. We will have to have a call about it. You will have to check with me the programs that you want to submit yourself to. We will have to send an email to the school because this is very specific, and we will check it together. All right. Another question I see is IELTS compulsory for. Usually IELTS is like the top level of the English proficiency test, usually. But again, there are schools that doesn't even ask for IELTS. They just ask for like a test that was conducted by the college, and then you just need to pass that, and we move on from there. Another question, I just want to know, would it be an issue, the study gap? I answered about the study gap. Thank you, Michael and Merit, for organizing a very good meeting. Really appreciate it. Good luck. Okay, guys, anyone else that want to ask us, even if you joined later on, it's perfectly fine. Like, please feel comfortable. We are doing this, first for you, that you will have the information and that you feel secure, and anything else, because otherwise it's just about sending us the emails. Anyone else that want? Sometimes the question that you ask helping everybody else. So anyone else that want to ask? Nothing? Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us for this webinar. And we wish you all good luck, and we really hope that you will be able to.
I don't know if they can see the snow.
Snow is such a beautiful thing. In Israel, we don't have it. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your time and attention, and feel comfortable to just send us emails. Wait, I just see something.
Yeah, I see. A couple may want to go together if it's possible. Again, this is when we're talking about a study permit, it's not like a work permit. On a work permit, you can bring maybe your spouse, and you can sponsor them. When you are coming as a student, it depends. You need to do the assessments for whatever program you're eligible to, and your wife needs to do her assessment. So it depends. With a study permit, I cannot guarantee anything that you and your wife will be able to come together. What I can guarantee is that if you will send me all of your transcripts, and we will do maybe a meeting together, and we will do an assessment together, we can see. But we cannot guarantee anything like that. You might be able to come, and then your wife will submit to a different program, and she will come maybe after 6 months, maybe after 3 months to a different program. So if we apply both for study permit, again, to submit to a study permit, it means that you need to submit to a specific program, a specific school, specific university. What do you want to study? Do you want to study hospitality? Do you want to study chemistry? Do you want to study? It depends. So
If they will apply separately, for example, the husband will register.
they will have to submit separate. They will have to submit separate. They can submit to the same program. It's not a problem. You can submit to the same program. If both of you wants to study business management, no one will tell you not to, right? But maybe, I'm just saying, maybe you are more qualified than your wife, or maybe your wife is more qualified to a different program, and then maybe it's better she will submit to hospitality, you will submit to be a caregiver. Again, I don't know. This is a very specific case. We need to check it separately. Okay.
And I think that it will be best that when we check it in specific, we will make sure that a husband and wife can apply separately to two different programs simultaneously, so no problems will pop up from the immigration side.
Yes, or another option is that once you are submitting, you came to Canada after 1 year of hard studies and working, you got your visa. From that, you're moving on to the PR, and then you can bring your spouse during the time. Or while you're studying, while you came to Canada, she can submit for a study permit or a work permit in anything else, and then she can come. So sometimes it's a long process, sometimes it depends. Is their program in media studies? Again, this is very specific. I don't know what do you mean when you say media. The sky is the limit here in Canada. You can study arts, you can study business, you can study anything. Okay, it just depends. Programs are expensive as well. I don't know which kind of media programs you mean, like animation, or, but it depends.
And if you were referring to studies that are done online, some colleges offer online studies, but I don't think this will help you arrive there easier.
No.
It's better to arrive and study in the campus, in the college, and this is the best way.
I mean, when I came, it was still COVID time. So my first semester was online. My second semester was a mix. And this semester, it's only going to the college. Even tomorrow it's snowing. I still need to go to my college. Like, if not, like, my teacher is not gonna like it. So you still need to go. Yeah. Anyone else with questions, or we're gonna wrap it up for today? Michal, what do you say?
I think we've just covered quite everything. Anyone else having a question, you're most welcome to send us an email. We put it in the chat. This meeting was recorded, so I will be able to give a link to any participant that will send us the email address. So you will be able to look at it once again. Accommodation is not included, of course, and just another question popped up.
Yes,
but
sure.
if you will arrive into British Columbia province, I'm sure that we will be able to help with accommodation. If it will be other provinces, we will try to help, but it will be in a little bit more distant place than our Canadian base.
But also regarding accommodations, I just want to explain something. There's a lot of, like, just in case you want to find community, you want to ask questions about where should I live, or where is the cheapest place. There's a lot of communities, people from India, people from Sri Lanka, people from the Philippines, people from Israel. It doesn't matter. So before I arrived here, I was looking online on Facebook, I was asking friends, I was connecting to people who already live here. I did my research. Okay, you can live inside of the college as well as a student, in the dorms. You can rent a place with a shared room, with 5 people, with 3 people, roommates. It depends. It depends. But it's very much developed here. Like you just go online, looking on Facebook groups, and you will find. In case that you need help with that, I can show you how I did my research and how I found my place. So yeah. And also now, I just want you to know, Michal mentioned it before, when I came here a year ago, I was able to work only 20 hours a week. Now there's no cap. So you can work as much as you want. You can work and study as much as you want. So it depends on you. And then sometimes when you have exams, you work less, you study more. And sometimes when you have semester breaks, so you push yourself through and you work more, and then like it's also an option. So yeah, and also in order to find a job, also you go online, you ask people, you look for jobs. Maybe sometimes they're looking for, I don't know, in the meantime, you're a really good cook, you know how to make Indian food, or you're a really good babysitter, or you're a really good accountant from your previous studies. Like it depends. And then you can find a job in that field, like a part-time job. Also an option. Okay. Anyone else? I saw something in the chat. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone. And we will be happy to hear from you through the email and to guide you through. Thank you, Han.
So Michal will send you all the information. So please send me all the information. Again, we put our emails in the chat, and also you have Michal's email from this video, so you can contact her in case that you can't find me, and we can also explain to you afterwards if you have any specific cases. Yes, that's it.
Thank you so much. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.